Well, just look at countries like Switzerland. You think they only produce chocolate and watches, but in fact you'll be really mistaken. They produce so many different manufacturers, and now they're into an area that I actually think is still possible for Sri Lanka to get into, and that is robotics.
Okay.
And they, of course, are into very advanced, sophisticated robotics linked to AI. But there are so many areas of robotics, sort of feeder areas,
Right.
which one can...
Components and that sort of thing.
Components, which one can get into in the context of joint ventures. Because actually, well, factories now are run by robots. You can see that, car companies,
Automation.
even bicycle companies and so on. But there is now a whole generation of robots that's going to come into the household.
Right.
We know that within 10 years, Japanese households will actually have robots in the kitchen. We know that's what they've been working towards. And robots will be in care, robots will be in restaurants, etc. Who is going to produce those robots? Who? And that's where the value chain that we often speak about, that could be very interesting to Sri Lanka. But no country can get into that without strong and aggressive government support.
Okay. I think the point you're making is that, for example, an iPhone or a smartphone has, like you said, so many components, and we all think it's made in China, but those components come from all over the place, from Taiwan, from Vietnam, from the US, from all over, and the assembly takes part in China.
Yeah.
So the actual value added that happens for example, for an iPhone in China might be quite minimal, and thus the profit that actually goes towards China might be very minimal compared to the profits that go to the semiconductor manufacturer, the chip manufacturer, etc. So Sri Lanka should probably get into industrialization, but you can't count all industrialization as the same. Is there a difference?
No, actually, you're making a very important point, Kusum. You see, the successful countries are the countries that absorb the technology and develop it. So what you see happened with Vietnam is they were not just happy to build all the components for Samsung smartphones. What they did with government support, massive government support for the IT sector, they started to build their own smartphones. Initially, these were laughed at by the Vietnamese themselves. They laughed at these, pretty pathetic. But that's the way everything happens. I mean, I remember when I was young, the car that we ridiculed a lot was a Toyota. But today a Toyota. And, just a generation ago, the car that was used as a sort of a knock-around car was a Hyundai.
Yes.
But look at it today. It's one car of the year, and it's quite expensive. And this is the point, that do you have the capability of getting on that technology ladder and getting your own people to start innovating and modifying and developing the products ourselves? And that's the difference between a country like Bangladesh and a country like Vietnam. So Bangladesh has not, let's say, I don't know it in great detail, but from the little bit of study we've done, they've not moved up that value chain. They've not diversified. They've not really embarked on that technological dynamism which you need to embark on.